Hello and welcome to my very first podcast, known as the Magic Hour. I'm your host, Magic Leb, aka Magic A, aka Majid Andary, aka not a white person's name. Now, this is going to be a random type show to discussing many topics. We are filming from Adelaide, South Australia. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a filmmaker. My occupation is a filmmaker slash promotions producer. I have worked for television companies, particularly in the Gulf area, OSN, Al Jazeera, Al Rayan, and I've also worked for media companies and ad agencies. And after 16 years of experience, I came back February of 2024 here in Adelaide just to finally understand I'm still not qualified to work here, which is why I have done my own podcast show, which is why I've been into doing comedy for the last couple of years. And my very first guest is Mr. Hamed Al Haeiry. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
All right. And we are going to be discussing Hamed's how he's on the journey to help people pursue success in any field that they are in. Now, Hamed, one of the when we spoke before we did our podcast, when we spoke, I asked you a question because I know you're a business type person and you're obviously doing well for yourself. And I asked you, what is the best investment? And you said yourself.
Yeah.
All right, which is I was blown away. I have to admit, because nobody ever said that. People say, whenever I ask that question, what is the best investment? They'll give me stock ideas. They'll give me company ideas.
Yeah.
Buy those coffee machines and rent them out kind of ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody ever said, invest in yourself. And I found that completely mind blowing because I did invest in myself. I mean, like I bought some more equipment to help me create more videos more professionally because I needed some lights, so I got lights. I needed audio equipment, I got audio, and right now as we speak, I am investing in myself. This is the very first episode that you are the first guest, and it's great. So I guess my question is like, what is your first move? Like, if somebody comes to you and say, Hamed, I'm unemployed. I wanna be successful. I'm interested in this particular field.
Yeah.
How can you help me?
Yeah.
So, like, what would be the first thing that you would? What kind of advice would you give them first?
No, that's a good question. I think before you could be understood, you need to first understand where is the person going, or what's the main dream. What's the destination? I was talking to a couple of friends today, and I said, there are three type of dreams. Dream number one is something that you wish for. I wish I had that dream. Number two is the dream that you work for. You put the effort in, you put the what's necessary, but some dreams are there that we're willing to fight for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you understand someone's dream or their goal in life and the purpose, the why, then you sort of reverse engineer that and make sure you put them on the right path so that that path can lead them to where they want to be. Because a lot of people growing up, of course, in the education system, they get asked this question that, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I think we had this dialogue before.
That's right. Like, of course, when you're children, the sky's the limit. You don't think about the harshness realities of life.
That's
Like
right.
there are kids that say, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor, and whatever. Right? Very rarely would you ever have a child that from a young age that knows exactly what he or she wants to do.
Yeah.
Like my son right now, he's 11 years old, and he wants to be a veterinarian.
That's right.
A year ago, he wanted to be a policeman. Now, or police, binary, gender, man, woman, / thing, whatever. All right. I don't want to get hacked. Oh, well, why is it not police person? You know what I mean? All right. Now he wants to be a veterinarian. All right. And he's 11 years old because I gave my son, listen, you got till 13.
Yep.
Tell me what you want. By 13, I want a decision of what you really want to be. Right? If you can, and if you still want to be a veterinarian at 13, then I'm gonna start making that happen for you now. While you're still going to school, while you're still going to high school, like during the school holidays, I will talk to a veterinarian, right, and ask him, listen, can you, I don't know, can you use my son as your protege? Can you just teach him some things?
That's right.
All right, get him on the ground floor now, like work experience at a young age. So by the time he goes to uni, he's more prepared. He's got a hungry determination to do well, and it's on a quick path to success for him to actually be that by the time he hits an age where he can have a license and perform.
That's correct.
Like that kind of thing. But and I think that's a very good way in motivating your children, especially if they've already set what they want to do, what they want to be. You know, most kids today, they're in high school, they're in the 12th grade.
Yeah.
All right. And the teachers ask them halfway through the year, so what is it you plan to do after high school? And 90% of them say, I don't know.
They don't know.
I don't know. You know?
And that's
They
right.
gave it no thought.
Yeah, because like the way I sort of position it is, instead of asking the kid what do you want to be when you grow up, I think we should be asking them how do they want to live when they grow up.
That's a good point.
What's their dream life look like? Because as we are kids, you know, our imaginations are not limited yet by the situation and the society that we live in. As we grow up, based on our income, based on our associations, we limit ourselves. You know, you might come in like, I want to be a pilot. No, I want to be this. I want to be that. And the people who are around you can either bring you down and say, "No, you know, you're dreaming, mate," or they could say, "Well done, let's do it. Let's plan ahead." So when we are kids, we have less limitations, okay, in our dreams and how we view and our perspective to life.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
You know, so when you ask a kid how do you want to live when you grow up, that gives him the capability of dreaming. That means he can create something. Because there's no limitations. How do you want to live? It could be whatever. You know, I want to live in an island somewhere. You know, I want to live in a desert or whatever. You pick what you want. And okay, so then let's reverse engineer that. How can we get to that lifestyle? You know, if your lifestyle is, you know what, I want to travel. I want to travel 6 months a year. And I want to be at a different locations every 3 months. Okay, cool. Well, let's identify the path that you can generate some sort of a wealth mechanism, some sort of a cash flow that can support that. Because end of the day, you know, we came here to live a life, and you know, we don't live to work. We work to live,
exactly.
and so what happens? Society has positioned us in a way that, you know what, your life is designed based on how much money you make. Because the question was asked, what do you want to be? So let's say you like science, or you like IT, or you like computers, you like digital stuff, you know? And so you're like, all right, well, if I like that, then I want to do that for the rest of my life. But the thing that you're doing, is it going to provide you the outcome that you want in life?
If you're that does go for people whose ultimate goal is to make a very good life, a good living.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, for many people, everybody's desires, well, a lot of people, the majority of the people's desires is to live incredibly comfortably.
Yeah.
You know, very rarely do you meet people, hey, as long as I'm living, I'm happy. But there are people that are just like that. You know, there are people that are happy with in their professions, and they may not make as much money as other people, but they found content. They found their happiness because there are people. I think it really comes down to maybe desires and people who are very egotistical. You know, the kind of people that say like, you see that car that I got? I spent 80 grand on that car. It's my car. You know what I mean? You got those kinds of people.
Yeah.
And you got the kinds of people like, hey, I'll take the bus.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy. I like to commute.
happy. Yeah.
You know, because I get a lot of work done on the way to the bus.
That's
right.
right.
You know, on the way back. I'm an innovator, I think.
That's
you
good.
know, like there are people that don't need money to be that they don't need to, that money is not their ultimate way of happiness.
Yeah.
Right? Money is great. Money helps. It pays the bills, and we all need our bills to be paid. But when people focus, I find that when people focus on chasing money, they want that job to get that salary, that income, those fat stacks. They spend all this time chasing, and I feel like the more they chase, the more that money they're after is going
Running
further.
away.
You know what I mean?
Like Tom and Jerry,
exactly. You know, that's what I feel. For those who don't even think about money, all right, they don't think about it in that sense.
Yeah.
All right, and they just focus on doing what they're doing, and they're good at it. I believe eventually the money will come.
The money always comes.
You know, the money will come. It may not be what you hope to get or the amount that you get, but if it's enough to provide more than what you need, even just a little bit more than what you need, if you got all your bills paid and you have still like a bit of savings left, that to me, I think that's success. You know,
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, everyone's perspective and everyone's sort of point of view on life is different. Me and my young brother, we always talk about this, and we say that, if you were gonna given a job, how much are you expecting as a salary? And usually some people say 150, 100 to 200, 300. They come up with a number.
Big aspirations, yeah.
And so we tell them, why not more?
Wow.
Why didn't you ask for 1 billion? Why didn't you ask for 1 trillion?
Okay.
And they're, well, I don't need that much money.
Well,
And we see that as someone who only sees themselves. I am happy. I am comfortable. Okay. So that is enough for me. Whereas when someone, again, depends on the person and depends on how they view the world. Me and my brother are type of people that we don't see ourselves. We see others. So in order to go out there and impact the world, put a dent in the world, as we say, create a legacy, have humans beings' lives changed on a radical basis. We need more in order to fulfill that.
of course.
For our own lifestyle, maybe $200,000, $300,000 a month, a year is enough.
Yeah.
For my house, for my cars, for my family, that's enough. But the rest of the money, I want to be able to put it to work, as in helping others, in a holistic approach. Like, I was talking to a couple of my friends today on Zoom, and we were talking about the purpose and why, and what's the dream that you want to fight for. And one of the things was being able to help the ones who need, in providing them not the cash, not the money, but in solving their problems. For example, I come from Iran. So many people go to jail because of a check that has been bounced back.
Oh yeah, well, okay, wow.
And they're there, their family over there, because there's no support, there's no government support for the family. So if you're the bread bringer for the house, now you're in jail. Your wife, your kids, they're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're in jail, because your money has bounced back, and it wasn't because of you, because someone didn't pay you or whatever. Now, going in there every, let's say, year or every 6 months, going to the jail and speaking to the, whatever you call them, the jail owner or whoever runs the jail. Okay, who's here for a check bounce back? Okay, such and such and such and such. All right, cool. Let's have a chat with them. What's your problem? I had a check bounce back, let's say 20 grand. All right, cool. What's the reason for? Blah, blah, blah. Makes sense? All right, I'll take care of that.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. And that, I think, that gives me extreme fulfillment, because it makes me feel godly. It makes me feel, because I believe that there's a God within us.
Oh, of course.
And we are the creation of God. And so whenever we feel this inspirational feeling, goosebumps coming, they're just connecting to a higher level of, what do you call it? Like emotional status. And so me going in there and saying, all right, what's the problem here? Can I be the reason where now you can go back to your life and you can support your family? And I know that me giving something like that, I'm going to gain. And I don't want the gain to be financially. I want gain in prosperity. I want my gain to be applied in my children, my future, my legacy.
Of course.
And so when you look at it that way, that means you need a lot of more money, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
See how the perspective shifts everything.
Yeah.
There's a great story about the shift in perspective. And so, because I believe that no one's wrong and no one's right. Everyone's got their own perspective. Okay. And so there was a gentleman in the bus. This is a cool story. There was a gentleman in the bus, and two of his kids were being so noisy in the bus that it was annoying the hell out of everyone.
Like, how old were the kids, would you say?
Probably 5 and 3 or 5.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
They
So
were
they're basically
kids.
the toddlers. Like
Toddlers, yeah.
Okay.
And so this guy comes up to the dad and says, look, your kids are really annoying. Please shut them off. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did he say it like that, or was he like aggressive, like shut him the F up, or just,
well, I don't know how exactly he said it, but
because it also depends on how people are approached. You know what I mean? They could say, "Could you please keep your kids quiet?" Shut.
No, yeah, he was pissed off.
Okay.
He was pissed off because it was getting irritating. It was a long bus drive, and so the father said, "I understand that they're pissing you off, but their mother just passed away and they don't know yet."
Oh wow.
Okay. And straight away, the guy's perspective shifted, and now the kids are not annoying anymore.
Well, of course not.
2 seconds later, they were annoying the shit out of him.
Of course not, because because the guy's showing empathy. All right, their mother just died. From when you're a child and your parents die, well, one of your parents die, you can't help but put yourself in those shoes.
Yeah.
Like I was 4 years old. My father died 3 weeks before my 5th birthday.
Wow.
And I remember I was lying down on the couch, and my head was on my mother's lap. We were living in Kuwait at the time, and she got the call. She got a phone call because he got killed in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and because my whole perception shifted completely. I was happy, in watching TV with my mum,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, I got to see a dramatic change, like instantly. I never saw my mother burst into tears in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I was only 4. I mean, what life did I
But
have?
you still remember.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, I was 4 going on 5, and I remember that day like it happened an hour ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because when an event plus emotions, it burns into your sort of brain for life.
Yeah.
Because there was an event with an emotion. Yeah.
And to deal with death at a young age, you don't grow up like most kids who've never experienced death at a young age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I actually did see things differently. I was a quiet child. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Right? Because I started to see things differently.
Yeah.
I didn't see things the way I would have before that event. You know what I mean? I was a quiet child. I was an obedient child.
Okay.
When my mother said do this and do that, be here and be there, I was there. You know what I mean? And like, because I didn't want her to be sad anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be upset anymore.
Yeah.
I was doing everything that I could to put a smile on her face. If she says, color me work on your coloring book, right? I'll do the best job just to show her, look how well I did. I want to put a smile on her face.
Amazing.
You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
All right. So,
But yeah, it's about that shift in the perspective.
exactly right. That was a huge shift.
All right.
in my life, yeah.
So when you look at it from different points in life, because going back to what we're saying about if I'm happy, if I'm comfortable, then why should I pursue for greatness even more? But I'm happy the way I am. I'm happy to catch a bus. Yeah, catch a bus. Okay, we don't have any issue with that, and I think that you should live a humble life. You should live a life of being content.
Yeah.
But the moment you shift the focus off yourself and into the ones who are in need or the world, or if you have an impact mentality, then that's when you need more resources. You need more income. You need more time, free time, in able to get out there and actually do what's necessary and be at the front line.
I probably should have asked you this question earlier, but what is the title of your position that helps people achieve their goals and their success? So do you have a title for your position?
Yeah, so I don't know if I could put in a title, but as a profession, I'm a professional sign writer. So I've got a signage company.
That's okay, yeah.
Okay, but outside of that, I actually get mentored and coached in developing passive income through e-commerce and online assets. And so that is becoming more my primarily focus now, because that platform enables me to be able to get out there and help people at a much deeper level. Signage provides solutions to businesses where they can promote themselves and generate income. But with this mentorship and sort of secondary line of income, it gives me the platform in order to pour into people's lives and actually get into people's families, work on the parents, on the attitude, on their relationship skills, on their financial literacy skill sets, for them to grow up and become men and women. Because we can also have a 4-year-old kid, a 40-year-old kid, because he still hasn't matured yet.
Yeah.
It's just age.
You get your people who are still man children.
Yeah,
they're
still man children.
I hate man child. I can't stand those people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in from a sign writer, which is probably basically which is your source of income that you need to put from the table, pay bills. I mean, you got like a steady job that takes care of everything, and you have time to do what it is that you do now. How many people have you helped so far to open up their perspective, to help them achieve what they wanted to achieve?
So currently,
do you have any good story that you can tell about any particular individual that you've helped along the way?
Absolutely. So I think it was last year that I came across someone at the gym, and we sort of chatting away and everything. And I sort of spoke to him about the people that I'm connected to, how they're helping me through a holistic approach in life, through finances, through relationships, through communication, through life skills. And so he was very impressed by that and said, wow, that sounds amazing. And I said, look, I'm just a connector. I'm not the connection. I'm not the main guy to come to. All I can do is connect you to the source. So I've done that. You know, he had to go through a qualification process to earn that position. So he earned the position. And then through another mate of mine, I got introduced to another guy. And that guy was this guy's best friend growing up. And so when I was talking to the other guy, you know, he told me about, oh yeah, I heard you, you know, taking that person under your wing and you sort of connected them to your mentors and coaches and everything. And I just wanted to let you know that you saved his life, you know, because last year, 2023, his mom passed away at the age of like 40 or something like that. So young age. And so that was a massive impact on their lives. And this kid was being sort of on the path of, you know, drugs, alcohol, and probably like suicidal.
Oh, wow.
And so him being connected to this source, creating a bit of a hope, creating a bit of a long-term goal for himself and for his brother. And yeah, because he's got other brothers and sisters. And so me just reaching out and connecting to people, typically, yeah, saved the guy's life. And he didn't tell that. He didn't say that to me. His mate did.
Okay,
which I didn't know either.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was just like, you know, it was like a universal thing. And I see a lot of value in that. Now, if that person decides to continue with what I'm going or my path, or decides to go a different path, that's fine. I've done my bit.
So this person who was going through some very tough times, you somehow managed to motivate him to a point where he was able to get himself out
Yep.
of that particular life that he was going down.
Yep.
And so how is he doing today?
He's doing really good. Now he used to work for a company. Now he started his own sort of company, you know, become as a sole trader, and now he's networking, expanding his business,
Okay.
and, you know, becoming a better version of himself on a day-to-day basis.
And
Now for me, it's fulfillment. That's like I've done
Yeah.
my bit. You know?
See,
Like-
now here's the question. Of course, there are people that get money for that, but you said you got fulfillment.
Yep.
Now, let's say you didn't get paid for that service that you did for him. Do you still feel as satisfied? Do you
Absolutely.
still feel fulfilled?
Absolutely.
You know, because you know, this comes to what I was saying earlier. Right? I mean, money is great, but I don't think money is the source of happiness. Money does run out. Even if you had $1 million, that $1 million can run out.
Absolutely.
You know, even if you were spending it wisely, it's still going to come to an end.
Yeah.
Like when we're born naked.
Yes.
We come with nothing. All right. For some reason, they dress us when we're dead. I don't know why. I don't know why we just can't go naked when we're dead. But the thing is, when we die, we're only taking what clothes that we got on, plus the coffin that we guilted our family to buy for us to make sure we had a flashy enough funeral.
I mean,
the thing is, you go with nothing.
Yeah, as a Muslim, we don't get a coffin either.
Oh, really?
You just get wrapped up and put in dirt.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, at least you're preserving yourself. Yes. You know what I mean? All right. You know, there are always some people. I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated, and I want you to put me next to my famous baseball collection. That's where I want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be with the family.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, you're born with nothing, and you go with nothing.
Absolutely.
But when you do go, you go by leaving a memory.
Yes.
People rarely will say that guy used to make 80 grand a month. They won't say that.
No.
They would be like, that guy told me something that changed my life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They'll remember that. You know, that guy, he used to play football with me when I was a kid, but my dad wouldn't. You know, they remember things like this.
Yes.
All right. So of course, these things are more fulfilling than money can ever be.
Absolutely. And you know, I think that having a platform that enables you to enter into people's lives, of course, with their permission, okay, and be a source of positive influence that they can create awareness and grow as a family strong unit, the husband and wife, and then being able to work side by side together, okay, educating themselves around relationship skill sets and parenting skill sets. then creating a safe environment for the child or the children to grow. And what happens? That ripple effects, because then that child goes inside the society. Then when this kid has grown up in a safe environment, a positive environment, an environment of awareness and wisdom, then when that kid goes out there, okay, he's gonna have a little impact on the society. Then he's gonna surround some good people around him, and then slowly, slowly that ripple will go throughout the society.
Yeah.
So, and what was the reason? That, because if you imagine a subtle pool and you just drop a rock in there in the middle, it creates that little ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
It goes all the way. And I believe that if a platform enables you to be able to do that, have a ripple effect, a compound effect, long term beyond your life, that you leave a legacy behind. Like, that Majid guy, man, he was funny. All right. Like when I was going through some traumas, I had to watch him. And there's an Iranian Max, I forgot his last name. He's a comedian. And one of his audience stood up and gave him a rug, an expensive Persian rug, as a gift.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what is that for? He's like, when I was going through my cancer, okay, I was watching you every day, and it was you that put a massive positivity and made me laugh on a day-to-day basis that was able to cure the problem. So
It gave him a positive effect.
yeah, and so it's like you saved my life.
Yeah.
And like he's a rug, and it was very emotional, and the hug and kissed. So, people remember that.
There's a reason why they say laughter is the best medicine. There's a reason for it. And I honestly believe it too, like, 'cause when people are depressed, they see something that makes them laugh, they forget about it, even for just a minute.
Absolutely.
They forget about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's probably, one of the reasons why I got into comedy was because my life went down a horrible rabbit hole, were to say, like a year and a half before COVID, I had lost my job.
Yeah.
I was working full time.
That was 2018.
Yeah, mid 18. Okay, I had lost my job. All right, and my wife and I were on the verge of wanting to get a divorce. All right, and my son was 5 years old at that time. So I had lost my job and I couldn't get freelancing work. I couldn't get anything. But thank God I owned my own property at the time. But I couldn't make the payments. I couldn't make the electricity payments. I couldn't make the water payments. So after 2 months, they shut off our electricity and our water. And it was like that for 5 straight months. I couldn't pay. We had no electricity in the house, in our apartment, for 5 months. But we were living in the compound, so whenever we needed to, so we had a gym in our compound, and the gym's got a bunch of showers. So whenever we needed to shower, we'll go to the gym. All right, and shower there. I'll bathe my son there. We'll shower there. All right, and lights out was 6 o'clock, because in Bahrain, the light, it's pitch black by 5:30.
Yeah.
So when we've got no electricity, what are we staying up for? We've got nothing to read. We don't have light to read. So we'll fall asleep at 6 o'clock and wake up at the crack of dawn.
Nice.
All right. Now the thing is, but I was out there every day trying to get work. I was out there every day trying to get something, and I couldn't afford anything. I was running out of money. All right, I could afford just to feed my family, but I would go out. I was even begging for a dinar here or a dinar there, which is like $3, right? But the one thing that I did was lucky that I could eat was soup. I call this the soup analogy. This is you might learn from this. I don't know. All right, I got by on soup.
Yep.
All right. I didn't eat bread, didn't eat meat, didn't anything. I just had soup. It didn't matter what flavor. Tomato, marshmallow, broccoli, mushrooms, broccoli, whatever. I had soup. Now, after those 5 months, I finally got a job, a freelancing job. It didn't pay much, but that freelancing job led me to another, which led me to another, which led me to another.
Yep.
All right. I finally got the electricity and water turned back on.
Nice.
And it was like, it was like Christmas Day every day. I don't need presents. That electricity, that light is a present.
Yep.
That hot water is a present. All right. And when I started doing better, started getting paid more, all right, I was now starting to live a bit comfortably. But then, because by doing these jobs, I saw an ad saying, would you like to do comedy? So I did comedy. And I was so miserable and so pissed off and so angry that I let it out on stage. And I got a standing ovation on my first night.
Yep.
All right. And I figured, because I got nothing to lose. I've got nothing to lose. I don't want to go home right now. I got no electricity. I might as well be here. You know? All right. And so they asked me if I wanted to host comedy, because I went 3 weeks in a row doing my stand-up. And they said, you're funny. I want you to host our show. I want you to be the host, and I'll pay you this much. So I was doing small work with my video work, and then I started getting paid for comedy. And then I started leading more to comedy because I got more recognized in Bahrain and did more. Now, when I started doing well for myself, I was at a restaurant and I ordered food, and the first thing I ordered was the soup. All right, because that was a reminder, a constant reminder. Right, you had nothing, you had less than nothing.
Yep.
But you had soup.
Yeah, soup.
That made you survive to where you are now. I could have neglected the soup and say, I don't want soup anymore for the rest of my life. Give me the steak. I want the steak with the potatoes, crispy potatoes, and the mushrooms, and the sauteed onions, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck the soup.
Yeah.
No. I was like, thank God for you. I'm here because of you.
Yeah.
Because soup is filling,
Yep.
highly economical, it's cheap, and it gets you by.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I was very grateful for that experience. I was very grateful for my little journey of poverty, that I become a lot more grateful. And I know a lot of you probably think I'm full of shit because I'm this big, all right? But I wasn't always this big, all right? So, you know, I just enjoy soup a lot more now with other things, all right? But it made me a lot more humble, a lot more grateful that whenever I see people begging for money or asking for money, I don't hesitate. I give.
Yeah.
Because I was there. I
Yes.
actually did ask for money.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if I was by myself, I probably wouldn't have I probably would have had more prize than that. I don't need it. But I had a 5-year-old son. I don't mind humiliating myself for my child. I don't mind getting getting those dirty looks and being ignored and whatever I had to do. I just did whatever I had to do just to even get something.
Yeah.
All right. And my son was 5, so whatever food he had, he was happy. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't asking, can we have mac and cheese? He wasn't asking, can you get chicken nuggets? As long as he had something to eat, he was happy. You know. So after that journey, you know, I've been humble, and it's only when you lose everything, or when you lose a lot, do you really find out what you're made of.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people who become successful, and God bless those people that manage to do that, and they never experienced that kind of hardship. They're losing something. They're missing something in their lives. They are unfulfilled.
Yes.
All right, they've accomplished the corporate world. They've accomplished the economic world. They've accomplished the family life. Fantastic. All right, these are great things that everybody wishes to have.
Yeah.
But they can never, ever, ever get down to a point where they can understand certain people because they have not lived to a point where they have struggled. It doesn't come to their mind that, what if I don't pay my bill? That's never come in their mind. They can easily pay it.
Yeah.
What if I didn't eat today? That's not that's not an option. They've eaten.
So here's a question: if that person had never gone through tough times, but he wants to get fulfillment, how should he then achieve that? Even though he was never going through that. I mean, he had a good lifestyle. His parents had a good life, but he wants to get fulfillment. So intentionally, what does he have to do?
Are you talking about successful people?
Yeah.
Well, they can get fulfillment by giving advice to those who are following the same field as they are. They can give them advice like, I got successful doing this, and if it worked for me, then it can work for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Forward.
Yeah, you know exactly right, to pay it forward. All right. Maybe they even say, look, I've been blessed.
Yep.
All right. I'm making good money. All right. I'll give you this little just to get you started. Maybe that could be fulfillment.
Yep.
But then again, I doubt they would do that if they never had hardship. You know, they'll be like, hey, I did this on myself. You could do it on your own too without any help. You know what I mean? You got those people that have that kind of attitude.
Yeah, and I think that comes from awareness. You know,
Yeah.
once you create that awareness, because a lot of some of the wealthy, I'm not going to say a lot, but some of the wealthy people, when they have a lot of wealth, you know, they get no fulfillment. So, like, what's the point of life?
Yeah.
So some of them even do suicidal, like they kill
Exactly
themselves.
right. See, and because we live the life that we live, you
Yeah.
know, we've been on the ground, we've seen bad
Yeah.
stuff. We look at these people and say, you guys are freaking spoiled. I'll change places with you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, they don't feel that fulfillment because they never had that struggle. Right? Well, I'm talking about those sorts of people who never had that kind of struggle. The only struggle they had is, I got to get this degree, I got to pass these tests so I can get the license to become what I want to be.
Yeah.
That was their struggle.
Yeah.
But is that really a struggle? You're being given an objective. Fulfill that objective, you get the prize.
That's it.
All right?
That's it.
If you're going to become a doctor, you get a license, you're a practicing doctor. No one's going to say, oh, we don't need doctors. It's an automatic job.
Yeah.
All right? So for those people who are successful, that don't feel fulfillment, all right? That's why they have soup kitchens. Go down to the soup kitchen once a week and give food to the poor, feed
Yeah.
the poor.
Yeah.
Right. Look at their life, so you can be more grateful for yours. So you can stop bitching and complaining and saying that you're unfulfilled. You know what I mean? Because you have no right to be unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Right. Even people who feel unfulfilled, they think if they throw money at a charity, they feel like, hey, I did that. But what are they doing? They're saying, I did that. People that give to charity will never say, I did that. They give because they want to. They don't want credit for it.
Yeah.
They don't want their picture on the paper. They don't want a story written about them.
Yeah.
They don't even want people to film them giving.
Yeah.
Hey, look, film me, man. I'm gonna give this guy $1. See what happens. No, you know what I mean, right? They just do it out of their own heart.
Because they're looking for that self-satisfaction.
The thing is,
that emotional, yeah.
Exactly. The thing is, if you give, you're giving from the heart. You're not
Yeah.
thinking about that person's situation. You're not thinking about how he became that way. You're just thinking, wow, he's that way.
Yeah.
Or she is that way.
Yeah.
All right. If I can give them $20 for them to get something to eat, okay, I've done my job. But the thing is, that's not going to help him for life.
No.
But hopefully, but I'm happy to give, and I can only pray. I pray that something good will happen for this person.
Yeah.
I pray that he doesn't have to beg every day. But again, it also depends on that particular individual. You do have some homeless people or people that go through tough times that don't want to help themselves.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
That we're talking about a different class of kind of people. They
Absolutely.
just don't want to help themselves. Not only have they given up, they're actually waiting to perish. They're actually waiting to go.
Yeah.
All right, they'll take whatever they can because they
They've
need
given
to eat.
up. They're gonna hope.
They come now to be able to help that is what's called a miracle. That's when miracles come to play because these people are done.
Yeah.
Done, completely done.
Just
it's
waiting
like,
to be buried.
you can't detox that. If somebody's addicted to drugs and they can't live without drugs, you take them away from it for a month and watch them go through some crazy things, but they're getting detox, they're getting help, and they don't know it.
Yeah.
But you can't detox somebody that just doesn't want it anymore. There's no way you can help that. All you can do really is just pray for them.
That's it.
That's the only thing you can do.
That's it.
All right, because even all the amount of money, all the amount of energy you want to put in to help better themselves, it's not going to work because they simply don't want it.
It's about that. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't force it
Exactly. Yeah.
to drink. I mean, you can help them, and I think the best way to help anyone, for them, in order to change their circumstances, is what they pour into their mind.
Yeah.
I believe in that cycle where what your inputs, okay, affect your thoughts, and your thoughts will affect your words, and your words will affect your actions, and your actions will affect your habits, and your habits will affect your destiny. So if we can shift what they are inputting into their mind, that's why I don't watch the news anymore, because what am I allowing in? I only have control, and I think we had this discussion before. I only have control on what I can hear or what I can listen to, because I can hear stuff, but doesn't mean I'm listening.
Yeah.
What I can listen to, what I can say, and what I can think, all right, and what I can sort of do with my hands and my body. So in order to shift that, I think the best thing is to help them create a bit of more awareness, maybe through reading, maybe through listening, maybe through associating.
See, I like what you're saying.
Slowly shifting.
I like what you're saying. See, because we do. I mean, we do have some control.
Yeah.
We have a limited control.
Yes.
Of course, we can never control the outcomes of our lives. I mean, I could not control not being unemployed. I couldn't control not being able to pay my bills.
Yeah.
What happened, and I had to just go along with it.
Yeah.
Right. But we do have a sense of control that we can control how we want to address people. We can control how we want to live our life, how we can control our diet, we can control our wardrobe, but we can never control the outcome. I can't guarantee, hey, if I take this course, then I'm going to get this job.
Yeah.
That's not always the case.
No.
All right. So when you say that, you can control what you want to hear, what you don't want to see, whatever, I think that's a very positive mindset.
Yeah.
Because you are blocking out the bad, embracing the good.
Yeah.
Right. Because the only way you can truly be happy and to be successful and to help others, you got to do it from a sense of happiness,
That's it.
love, compassion.
Yep.
You can't do this from a negative point of view.
Absolutely.
Right. So and
like-
there are people that choose to be negative because they're just so angry with what's going on.
Well, yeah, because
what
they're allowing in. I mean, I don't know when you were a kid or even now. Like, I've got some friends which, they like to talk about ghost stories,
Yeah, fair enough.
especially at nighttime.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then you go home, and then you hear a little tick on the window and like, oh my God, what was that? You know, you've heard that tick multiple of billions times. You're like, it's just never. But now because what you've inputted, and now what your thought process is, where you are sort of intentions and your focus is, that you're just waiting for any little noise or a little shift, because you've sort of programmed your mind at that time, and look how much is already affecting you.
They're building up that fear.
You know, and like you scared him to go to the toilet. Like, babe, can you wake up? I need to go to the toilet. But so if you're constantly adding in negativity into your mind, about what's happening around the world and things that you have no control over, of course your actions, your words, your thoughts are going to be sort of channeled in that direction. So allow positivity in, then automatically your actions will shift. And why not? I mean, that's the only thing we have control over. The things that are happening around the world. I mean, I have no physical control over.
No, of course not.
What I can do, I can pray. I can make people. I can allow people who are around me. Okay, make them aware of the situations happening there, and the people, maybe educate them a bit around that area.
Give them
awareness.
Yeah, like the Gaza situation is the perfect example.
Yeah.
Right. I can't go anywhere without seeing about or reading about what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, it's not only depressing, it's heartbreaking. Right. And I can send a message, but that's not going to do nothing. Right. But I mean, as horrible as that is, the best thing that I can do is I'll make a video about it.
Yeah.
I made a video about certain topics of that to spread awareness of what's happening.
Yeah.
And as soon as anybody speaks on Gaza's behalf, a lot of people thinking, oh, then you're an anti-Semite, or you hate Israelis, or you hate... I didn't even mention Israelis.
No.
I didn't even mention what they're doing. I'm just mentioning, look at what these guys are going through.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to go through that. I'm not talking about who's doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about, look what they're going through.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to go... No human being should have to go through that, regardless of where they're from.
Absolutely.
Right? So, but, I at least I felt like, okay, maybe what I did wasn't enough to make a big positive change.
Yeah.
But if somebody just agreed or showed empathy the way I did and felt something, at least it spread.
Yeah, it was spread.
At least somebody thought, oh, okay, I don't agree with what's going on either.
Yes.
Because I get people saying, yeah, these guys deserve it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Right? They deserve it. They started it. No one can tell who started what, but I get comments like that. Right? But then again, that guy could have controlled what he wanted to say, because what negative impact did that person say? Oh, these guys deserve it. Anybody who says these guys deserve death, these guys deserve it. I mean, I don't even want to know what their mind is like.
What their program is.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try to understand it. It's like trying to understand a serial killer, why they kill.
Yeah.
I don't want to understand it.
No.
Jeffrey Dahmer, I saw the series, but I still don't want to understand why he wanted to eat people.
Wow.
Like killing is not enough, you have to eat them too. I don't want to understand it.
Wow.
Right? I don't know what level of control or lack of control that person had.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're kind of steering off in the wrong direction here.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about motivating people, helping people.
Absolutely.
Right? And getting fulfillment in that. So in conclusion, like what would the message be for those who simply just want to make their lives better?
Yeah, so I mean, going back to your initial question, what sort of advice would you give? Basically, if I could, simplify it down, because I love giving analogies. I love simplifying it down, so everyone can understand. Basically, if you come to me and I'm a travel agent, and you tell me, Hamed, I want to travel somewhere, what's the best type of transport you have? For me to just tell you, you should catch a plane, or you should catch a cruise. That'll be fun. Cruise are fun, right? Or, you need a car. That's very immature of me. The right question I should be asking you first is where you want to go.
Yeah.
And so then you're gonna tell me, I'm thinking of going to New York, London, I don't know, Egypt, Russia, I don't know. Anyway, okay, cool. So now I know where you want to go. So then now I can recommend you things. I can, okay, well, you have two options. If you want to go to London, you have two options. Either you can catch a plane or you can catch a boat or a cruise or whatever. All right, what's the difference? Well, cruise is more comfortable. You can walk around. It's got swimming pools and tennis courts and so on and so forth. But it would take time. Maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I'm not sure. There's also another option, which is a plane. And that would be much quicker, probably 24 hours, 30 hours.
Oh, it depends
flight.
where you're traveling from. Yeah, but yeah.
From Australia to, let's say, Dubai to London.
Yeah, probably. I think it'd be less than 20 hours, but yeah.
Yeah, more than 20 hours. I
You
think.
reckon?
My wife went to Iran. It took her like 23 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a day.
Yeah, so a day or two. Okay. Well, all right. I like that. But why? Well, it's not comfortable. No, it's not. Airplanes are not comfortable. Unless you're flying first class.
Yeah.
It's different. But no, airplanes are not. You have to sit in a little chair and breathe recycled air and get fed maybe like once or twice or 3 times through that journey. And the food is not the best always. And maybe the guy next to you smells. Maybe the girl next to you is whatever. And so it's uncomfortable, but it's not important. The important part is you getting to London.
The journey, yeah.
Okay, I mean, you should enjoy the journey. You should enjoy the flight. Maybe watch a couple of movies. That's what I do usually. Watch a couple of movies and time flies, and just enjoy it. Maybe look down the window and see the ocean or whatever. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you're going on a path. Make it an experience.
Yeah.
Don't hate it. But the fact that it's going to get you to your destination at a quicker rate, that's important. Now that's fact 2. Now the third fact is that who's flying the plane? Okay, the plane is great. The plane is great. The plane will get you there. But who's going to get you there? The pilot. What does a pilot use? Navigation. So there's now 3 important factors here. Number 1, the destination, where you want to be in life, or how do you want to live. You want to cut that?
That's okay. One of our lights just turned off. That's okay. We can continue. It's okay. I'm filming in low-level light camera, so
we can
fine.
continue. Cool. And so factor number 2 is identifying the platform, identifying the vehicle that's going to get you to your destination. Okay. And factor number 3 is that you got to have some sort of a navigation. You got to have some sort of a GPS. You got to have some sort of a pilot, which I believe someone who's a pilot knows the way.
Yeah, of course.
Has been to London multiple times. And so the pilot is leveraging the airplane in order to get you to where you want to be. So if you put these 3 important aspects together, you can achieve whatever you want. You know, where you want to be in life, or how you want your life to be, your destination, reverse engineer it, identify someone that knows the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and then listen to them, because when you step on the plane, you're submitting to the pilot. You're putting your life in the hands
You're
of
entrusting the person. Yeah, of
you're
course.
putting your life into the hands of a pilot.
Yeah.
Okay. That means you have full trust on the. You're not going to sit on the plane and say, "Oh no, man, this is risky." I mean, how about the pilot? Is drunk, or how about if the pilot doesn't know the way? I mean, you will never step on the plane.
Yeah.
But you have full trust that this pilot is going to get me to where I want to be, because you've done some investigations, you've done some research that there's something called navigation, and so putting these 3 important aspects together would definitely get you to where you want to be.
Wonderful. Well, Hamed, thanks for being my first guest. That was a great chat. I think it was a great first episode.
Yes.
There's a lot that we can take out of this. One thing that I would like to say, if you're ever visiting Iran and you want to avoid jail, pay in cash. All right? Don't use checks. You don't want that shit to bounce. I mean, that's not the only thing I took from this. I took a lot, but that I just wanted, as a comedian, I had to jump on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching my very first episode of The Magic Hour with my guest Hamed Al Haeiry.
It was a pleasure.
All right, and please tune in for another episode coming shortly. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day. I guess. See ya.
Ciao.
I'm broke, bitch.